your booth number again?
2008. Yeah, anyone has any questions, please?
Yes, sir. Do you have any plans to do anything more with Quantum and Woody?
Yes, actually. We do. Quantum and Woody is the story of the world's worst superhero team. Two brothers who hate each other, who have to bond these bracelets that they wear in order to keep their powers in check, because their powers otherwise would
Destroy them.
Disintegrate
this subatomic bubble.
Like my fourth divorce. They are these two brothers who hate each other but have to work together, and there's a goat. And it's really because of all that yes, we can't quite quit Quantum and Woody. We keep trying to, frankly, but no, we just can't. Now we're like everything in our line. We do 9 titles a month on average. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. But we try to keep a really tight control. We want to make sure that we're able to put out the best books possible and spend as much time as we can promoting them. And so as a result of that, we only have a very limited amount of titles, and so we're always working on a lot of different stuff. So yes, you're going to see more Quantum and Woody when we get it right. Yes, sir.
I got half though.
You missed all the good stuff, man. I tell you, gosh. Those announcements. Don't let any of that. This guy right here. Don't let any of those announcements. All right, go ahead.
Any word on the Shadow Man anytime next year?
Like Quantum and Woody. I think, yeah, much like Quantum and Woody. Same answer. There's Shadow Man is one of those characters that we absolutely love and we definitely want to get right. He had a really great run. And then we actually made a few appearances. We made an appearance in Ninjak not too long ago. We're probably going to maybe see him again pretty soon. But yes, to answer your question, sooner than later you'll be hearing something about Shadow Man.
And I'm not sure, this summer we, as part of our 4001 AD event, we had a one-shot that focused on the Shadow Man of the 41st century. So for the latest look on Shadow Man, that's where we want to get you out. Great script.
Yep.
So because you guys have like one ongoing book, EXO, and the others are kind of limited series, for new people coming in, is there a timeline? People want to know where, it's like, what miniseries do I read to go to the next miniseries, to go to the next miniseries?
Right. Sure.
Because it's not as easy as reading a sequential, ongoing, one set of number type.
Right. I hear what you're saying. That is part of why we do the 999 trades. That's why every time we do an event, we do it specifically because in a way that it can be the first event that you read. Anytime we do a mini-series like we do Blood, we do Book of Death, we just we just finished 4001, we did Armor Hunters, we do Harbinger Wars. We also, every time we do a new title, we're very conscious of the fact that that new title is going to be someone's first Valiant book. That said, you could go backwards and read things in the chronological order. You could begin with Exo Man 1 Volume 1, and then do Bloodshot Volume 1, and do Harbinger Volume 1. Did I get that? I didn't get that right. Anyway, but you could go through and do those, and there have been some fans who piece together what they think is the historical line of it. But the truth of the matter is that we do our very best to make sure that all of our titles stand alone. So you can pick up Volume 1 of anything, and it would be enough to get started on.
And I think...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. They do tie together. So I think the question is,
right.
Like Faith, obviously, you can do Faith Volume 1, but
right.
she ties into Harbinger, and there's a lot of storyline, like in the first volume of Faith, that
absolutely
tying in with people from Harbinger. So
yeah,
sort of
and you could go backwards and read Harbinger. You could go backwards and read Harbinger first, but you don't have to. Much in the same way, you and I could meet and we could sit down and have lunch, and just because I haven't known you since elementary school, we could still be friends. I think that there's the point is that we are very conscious of the fact that you will be meeting Faith for the first time, whether you read the first issue of the ongoing series, or the first issue of the mini-series, or the first issue of Harbinger. At some point, you're meeting Faith for the first time, and all of those should be enough for you to understand and be able to put That said, yes, it is a shared universe, and so everything does tie together at one point or another. But unlike some of the things we've heard about other like publishing events and that sort of thing, like if you read something where a lot of our teams get together, you don't necessarily have to be an expert in those teams in order to understand the crossover.
Right, no, I understand that. I think the question more is if someone picks up a volume 1 of something and likes it and wants to read the previous ones, is there something
When
that
they
says,
read the
what,
volume 1 or
this is pre-K?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what was that? I was being a smart ass. I
No,
didn't say the second part.
of course you were. So, no, I mean, is there something that gives an order of, say, someone says, oh, I really love this, what else has there been, and how can I read them to keep those stories?
There are actually in several of our trade paperbacks. There are reading maps, and so we do some of that. As we have never put together like a cohesive map of the Valiant universe. It might be fun to do at some point, and I know that some fans have.
Yeah, a lot of the fan blogs,
Yeah.
they all do. But the
Yeah.
four that I'm associated with, I mean, they get more into detail than
we do.
That's true.
The trade, but he's absolutely right. The trade papers are a good guide.
Yeah.
But if you want to get really intricate into it, you can go to the.
Well, like, if I get a question, it says, do I read Armor Hunters before Harbinger Wars, or do I read Harbinger Wars
Right.
before Armor Hunters? They're both a complete volume.
Yeah.
But what's the, like,
Time
Marvel
frame.
Superheroes
Yeah, you could read it
Wars
in-
happens before.
If you wanted to read it in
Civil War 2.
chronological order of printing, that might help you because that was the way in which it was written. But I think that again, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's part and parcel of the problem of reading serial fiction is that at some point you have to. Everybody jumps in from it, So, but the good news is there's a lot to binge on. So you're gonna be able to fill those things in. I personally really like the analogy though of when I first meet you, that's as far as you and I are concerned, that's the first part of your timeline. At some point I'll get a chance to go back and learn more about you. So, yeah. Yes, sir.
Any word on the movies?
Yes. If you could have the Koreans stop releasing emails about major movie companies, that might actually make those things go faster. How's that? There was a big announcement about Sony having a slate of 5 pictures of ours, starting with Bloodshot, then Harbinger Wars. But part of the reason that announcement came out was because Sony's email servers were hacked, and that was going to come out either way. As it is, that kind of slowed some things down, but there's still many things, and nearly everything we have right now is in some level of pre-production. We finance our own development, so it's
Working on it every day, though.
every single day. We have an army of people who are making that happen. There's something really, really cool going to be announced. What?
New York Comic Con,
Oh my
keep
gosh.
maybe you've already seen if you pay attention to the blogs, but there is something in the works. Something in the works that we can't officially come out and say, but
Piggybacking on that.
Yeah.
Anything on the animation front?
I'd go backwards and read the transcript of what I just said and just add in animation and take out the Koreans.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Everything, yes, there are many things
we
being
have a lot
developed.
of cans and many points.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get the same answer as you just gave twice, but what about the recent announcement of like the Ninjak stuff with Michael Rowe and the online series?
Was there an announcement about that? I don't remember there being an announcement about that. I don't know that we're going to get
claims.
2 people who are paid by people who might be unhappy if we said more than has already not been announced.
We can't control what actors want to do on social media.
That's true. But if you were listening during New York Comic Con, you might get some answers.
Yeah, I think the actor you got involved in actually did that.
It's big. Yeah. Anyone else?
All good?
Yes. Yes, sir.
What special things do you guys have going on at the booth?
That's a great
Yeah.
question. Hey, you're going to get something special today. Right after this, we're going to have a signing with who else gonna be at that signing?
Rafer Roberts, who's writing Harbinger Renegades, Arthur Armstrong, Fred Van Lente, who did the first Arthur Armstrong series and currently Generation Zero, and then finally B. Clay Moore, who will be writing
I'm telling you, it is amazing. Imagine a kid who's the prodigy of David Beckham and what was her name? Posh Spice. What was her name? I can't
Victoria
remember.
Beckham.
There you go, Victoria. Imagine that baby, instead of being raised in, I'm sure, what must be a lavish lifestyle that I'll never be able to even see. Imagine instead he gets raised on an island that is populated by dinosaurs and has to essentially become that. And imagine all of that illustrated by Louis LaRosa and Clayton Henry. And holy, yes, exactly. It's awesome. So yeah, B. Claymore is going to be here signing. I think we have some preview pages in that Facebook. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are also passing out the first issue of Phase 2 ongoing series, which is also a flip book of a preview of all of our new titles coming out this year.
There is also an exclusive cover for Generation Zero, which is the newest portion of the Harbinger story. A lot of the kids we met in Harbinger Wars, we're going to see them for the first time in a while. They are essentially like the A-team of our universe. If you're a teenager and you have a problem, and if you can find them, they will come. And it is, again, written by Fred Van Lente. We have a Baltimore exclusive cover of that book. Fantastic cover. It's actually at this table. Also, we have a tradition at Valiant that goes back to when Valiant started, the first Valiant started in the 90s. It is the gold logo tradition. And so the gold logos really are something that we do as a thank you to the fans. You cannot buy a gold logo version of number 1. You may only earn it. And this, actually, I just recently had to explain this to a retailer who really wanted to buy some. And I said, no. I tell you what, if you cosplay as Faith every day, maybe we'll talk about it. But if you show up to an event in a Harbinger t-shirt, if you come as cosplay as one of our characters, if you get something, a tattoo that is a Valiant character, which I do not recommend, but awesome, right? If you can, well, you have to be wearing that. Now, come on, let's put that on. If you do, whatever you do to show that you are a fan of the Valiant comics, and frankly, we have some of the best fans in comics. And I know a lot of people say that, but I will tell you right now that the Valiant fans who were around, in the 90s and stayed together during the period where there were no Valiant comics, and were with us in early 2012 when we started, and were there in force day 1. These are the best fans in comics because they have really made what we do happen. And so we want to make sure we say thank you. And so to them and to you, the new fans, because you are now have listened to the two of us drone on for an hour, and are obviously ready to go, we want to do something special. So come by the booth, and you're going to have to use a secret password. Now, in the past, I'm not going to say some people have moderated these panels and have not given you clear instructions. I'm not going to say that they gave you clear instructions and you chose not to listen to them. I'm going to say that each and every one of you are on message, right? Right now, you are hearing the sound of my voice as I say this is a secret password. That does not mean you stand in front of the booth and shout the secret password. That does not mean you tweet the secret password. It does not mean that you tell every member of your family who was not in here the secret password. It means it's a secret password.
I should turn this off, is what you're saying?
That's just turn